गलत क्या सही क्या मुझे ना पता है, तुम्हें अगर पता हो बता देना। मैं अरसे खुद से जरा लापता हूँ, तुम्हें अगर मिलूँ तो बता देना। खो न जाना मुझे देखते देखते, तू ही जरिया तू ही मंजिल है या कि दिल है, इतना बता। तूने छुआ जख्म को मेरे, मरहम मरहम दिल पे लगा। पागल पागल है थोड़े बादल, बादल है भीगे पर से भीगे। आ जरा पहली तुम्हें। Ladies and gentlemen, hope you guys enjoyed a little bit of that song. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. Here we go. Fabrizio Romano, as you guys have all probably seen it already earlier on today. Chelsea have agreed to appoint Enzo Maresca as new head coach. Here we go. We knew it over the last 24 to 48 hours that this is what was going down. And now it is finally a here we go from Fabrizio Romano. And I've not seen too many here we goes get reversed. There's been a few, but I think this one, it's safe to say Chelsea Football Club's next manager is Enzo Maresca. We're just waiting for official announcement from Chelsea now. Understand the agreement is now done on contract, valid until June 2029, 5-year deal. So this is one of the first things that we want to talk about in regards to the contract. There's a couple of bullet points that I want to touch base with you guys, and I want to get your understanding as to what you feel about this as well. So make sure you stay tuned for the rest of this video. Smash the like button if you're here for the first time. Subscribe, hit the bell notification to stay in touch with all my content. Smash the like button right now, ladies and gentlemen, right now. Okay. It will also include an option to extend until June 2030. So it's 5+1. CFC set to pay compensation fee to Leicester. So, ladies and gentlemen, Enzo Maresca is the next Chelsea manager. Look, I'm going to start things off by saying I'm fully on board now. Roberto De Zerbi was my favorite. That's the guy that I wanted, but he is now a distant memory for me. This is the guy. And, in all honesty, we're now all in. I used the analogy earlier on today that imagine you're playing poker and you've got all of these chips and you've got a couple of cards that you've drawn and you see the cards that's on the table and you've literally just taken all your chips, you grabbed them together with both your hands and you've just pushed it forward, saying you are now completely in on this play. Do or die. Do or die. Now, if the cards turn out to be good and it matches with you, you clean up the table. And if the cards don't match up to you and you absolutely bust, well, that is it. You are doomed. You are finito. You are khalas. So, ladies and gentlemen, for me, with the sporting directors and the owners, they can't afford to get this one wrong. They simply cannot. So I have to believe that this will work out. And to a certain level, I kind of feel that it may work out. Finally, look, just like Roberto De Zerbi, and I would have said the same thing if it was Roberto De Zerbi who's the manager. So just like Roberto De Zerbi, this is another manager, Enzo Maresca, who has a strong set of philosophy, a strong set of footballing principles. He likes to play with a lot of control. He likes to build up from the back. That are some of the fundamentals of this game. There is going to be a lot of patterns. There is going to be a lot of short passes, multiple passes, first-time passes, and this is going to take a bit of time. Yes, there are a lot of players within the team that might be able to pick this up from the get-go, but there are a lot of players that may not be able to adapt to it immediately, and it's going to take a bit of time. And we will definitely go through adversities. We will definitely go through adversities, and we as a fan base, we have to be patient. More than ever, and I've been saying it for the past few hours, more than ever, this is the first time we're actually going to have to believe in the notion, trust the process. There is no other way of looking at this anymore. We have put down all our chips on this particular manager, an inexperienced manager at this level and an inexperienced team as well. And we are hoping that it all gels and combines together. And look, people want to talk about expectations next season. I say have an open mind. I really do. As long as it's not a drastic finish to the line next season. I'm talking about 8th, 9th, 10th, probably 9th, 10th, 11th, anything in that region. As long as it's not that, we need to be very, very patient. Honestly speaking, my expectation is at least at a bare minimum, come top 6. And if we are in the Conference League, at least try and win that, because we should be the strongest team in that competition. We should be looking at winning that. But I'm not going to sit here and be demanding some unrealistic scenarios where I say you must get top 4, you must get a domestic trophy, because that's the standard. Of course, that's the standard. But demanding that level of stuff from a manager that has never managed at this level is very, very unfair. It's very, very unfair. And this is now why I will explain to you why it's unfair. And this whole 5+ 1 year deal. Chelsea Football Club has given Enzo Maresca a 5+ 1 year deal. Now, what does that tell you? What message do you think that is telling us, fans? What message is it giving to Enzo Maresca? And there's multiple sides to this story. From Enzo Maresca's point of view, let's check this out. A lot of people are saying Enzo Maresca is the one that has opted and has suggested to Chelsea Football Club that for him to believe in the project, which he does, he wants the same belief back from the sporting directors and the owners that he is here for the long run. Enzo Maresca is apparently the one who has said to Chelsea board that he's looking for a longer term contract, because the project needs to represent that you believe in the gaffer. And he's asked, you need to give me a long-term contract. And you can look at this many different ways as well. Enzo Maresca probably has seen the history in our football club, especially when the new owners have come in. Obviously, previously, we know how we chop and change, but even during the new owners have come in, we've chopped and changed quite ruthlessly and quite frequently. So Enzo Maresca probably wants some level of security. He knows that these sporting directors and the owners, they have a knack of changing their mind all of a sudden and getting rid of the manager. So maybe he's looking for a certain level of security. And Enzo Maresca probably understands that Chelsea right now are vulnerable. They're not in a position of power where they can demand what level of terms and contracts that needs to be laid out to a manager. He probably understands that, Chelsea have chopped and changed a lot. It's not the greatest, viable job out there. It's not the most prettiest job out there. It's a very difficult task. And he's probably leveraging off that as well. And that's Enzo Maresca's side, right? He wants to make sure that he's well secured. From Chelsea's side as well, maybe Chelsea wanted to probably give him 2+ 1 year. However, they probably succumb to the situation that now we need to. We need to do this, one, to show the manager that we completely trust him. Hence why 5+ 1. And we also maybe need to send a message to the fans that, look, no more #manager out business is going to happen, because we are going to stick to this manager. Maybe it's a message to the players as well, that players, yes, you've got long-term contract, so does the manager as well. So let's forget about what has happened in the past. Let's get on with it. Let's work together and let's try and rebuild this club from the base level again. And that's how I see it. This is not going to be a kickoff from where we left things off under Pochettino, because what we did under Pochettino, that's all going to be scrapped. Enzo Maresca don't play that kind of football. Yes, what we can perhaps take from last season is some of the players developing, in the likes of Cole Palmer, in the likes of Malo Gusto, and a few other players. But even then, a lot of the roles, a lot of the, responsibilities of the players will change now that Maresca has come in. So for me, it is starting from scratch again, because it's a totally different philosophy. So this whole 5+ 1 year, look, all I'm saying to the fan base is it's a message that we need to stay patient as well. We need to stay patient. We cannot, and especially the match-going fans, this particular Enzo Maresca era will be reminiscent of how things were under Sarri, if you guys remember. This guy plays similar type of football. And we know under Sarri, the match-going fans, yeah, they weren't on board. And this time, I'm pretty certain the owners and the board, they will not care one bit if the match-going fans kick up a fuss at the first sign of adversity. Because no, you don't understand. If we screw this managerial situation up, we are doomed. This is do or die for us. We are absolutely doomed. This must work out for us with hook or crook. So, ladies and gentlemen, for me, look, I'm hopeful that it's going to work out. I think it's a brand of football. If you stay patient, just the way Sarri, I never believed in Sarri from day one. I wasn't the biggest fan of Sarri, by the time the season ended, I was in love with Sarri. I was in love with Maurizio Sarri. I didn't want him to go. He felt homesick. He left. He never felt loved at Chelsea Football Club. He left. And I don't want this to happen to Enzo Maresca, because I know, especially the match-going fans, will probably misunderstand the way he plays. And I'm pretty sure the English media, at the very sign of going after Enzo Maresca, they will go after him and they will make it very difficult for him. And I just hope in those moments that Enzo Maresca is strong enough to handle those pressures, and he's strong enough to navigate through those adversities, and he's strong enough to keep the fans on his side. I think that is the first and foremost big thing for Enzo Maresca, that you must get the buy-in of the fans, and of course you need to get the buy-in of the players. If you can get the buy-in of the players as quickly as possible, I think he will kick things off nicely. But at the same time, you need to get the buy-in of the fans, and I don't need him to talk any fluff. I need him to genuinely talk from the heart and connect with us. Chelsea are about to complete the agreement with Leicester for Enzo Maresca. It will cost around 10 million euros. Club set to agree also on fee for the staff, deal to be signed in the next days. It's all done between Maresca and Chelsea until 2029 plus option, as reported today. So long contract, and this is the backroom stuff, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be coming through. Willy Caballero, coach Danny Walker, goalkeeper coach Michel de Bernardin, fitness coach Marcos Alvarez, and fitness team analyst Javier Molina Caballero, and are all expected to join Enzo Maresca at Chelsea. So that's fantastic. Willy Caballero, cult hero. Look, one thing a lot of people have been saying on social media is that Leicester didn't have too many injuries last season. So hopefully under Pochettino, we know it was all about running. Run. And Poch said it's what you do off the ball. You got to run. With Enzo Maresca, I'm not saying off the ball you're not gonna do a lot of work. Of course, you're gonna do a lot of work, but I think we're gonna have the ball a lot more. Having the ball a lot more hopefully means you're chasing the ball a lot less. And hopefully that translates to having less injuries, less demanding on the body. A lot of players have talked about Pochettino and the way he trains and the way how he focuses on running a lot, which breaks down players. So hopefully next season, one of the first things we need to ensure, and I'm going to talk about a few players that could shine, a few players that may be in trouble with Enzo Maresca. First thing that we need to ensure is if we are generally, less injury prone, we have less injuries in the squad, we will be doing well. And it will be a clear indication saying that, yeah, maybe Pochettino was a problem in terms of making players injured. So I'm hoping with what Enzo Maresca did with Leicester, the less amount of injuries, that will translate to Chelsea Football Club as well. 5 is not the length of the contract, but Chelsea could make 5 signings this summer, maybe more, maybe less. Let's see. But they're looking at a goalkeeper, CB, striker, and wingers. And now I want to talk about certain players that are going to fit in, certain players that are not going to fit in. Not in full detail. We can do that in another video. But 100% we need a goalkeeper. We need a goalkeeper that is so confident on the ball. Not only you have to be an epic shot stopper, an immense shot stopper, but you have to be equally very, very handy on the ball. Very, very good. There cannot be a slight bit of hesitation. You need to almost play like an outfield player. So does Robert Sanchez completely fit that mold? Yeah, he's confident on the ball, but his distribution is not always the greatest. Petrovic was somewhat getting better by the end of last season, but still distribution, ball playing ability is not his strongest suit. So goalkeeper, I'm pretty sure we're looking for a new goalkeeper. We have to. This new manager, Maresca, a lot will kick things off from the back, and that will be from the goalkeeping position. Centre back, I'm pretty certain we're going to go and get one. Likes of Thiago Silva's already left. Most likely Chalobah for pure profit will probably be let go of. So we'll need a defender who's equally very good on the ball and also very good probably from a 1v1 standpoint. I'm pretty certain we're going to control the possession a lot. We're going to be high up the field. You're going to need defenders that are robust, defenders that are able to defend in 1v1 situation, have a very good recovery pace, and equally very, very good on the ball. So players like Desassi, I'm worried, I'm concerned what's going to happen to them in terms of defensive duties. Striker, we'll see. We're potentially, we're linked. We need a striker, someone who's clinical, and I'm pretty sure Maresca will want someone who's clinical. And wingers. The other name that I want to talk about is Mudryk. Enzo Maresca will need players that are so good on the ball. First touch, everything will be silky. Everything will be first-time passes. First-time touch and then turn. So players that lack the first touch, players that lack the technical ability, you're in trouble. We already know the usual suspects in the likes of Gallagher, who are up for sale anyway for pure profit, but Gallagher will be a mismatch under Enzo Maresca's philosophy, I believe. And that is no news, to be honest. Gallagher is probably going to be moved on. But I'm more talking about the likes of Ben Chilwell. And this is where Enzo Maresca, I just hope, as I said, the long-term contract is one story. The other story that I want to now talk about is Enzo Maresca will need to deal with players in a confident manner that don't fit his bill. I think that's where a lot of things will be won and lost. If Enzo Maresca is not capable of sending out a message to players that are not part of his philosophy, and I'm pretty sure this would have been talked about in the interview, they would have hashed it all out, which players fit, which players don't, and they would have had to agree with all of that. There'll be certain players in this squad who have a huge question mark on them. I've already said Mudryk. I've already said Ben Chilwell, maybe even Desassi. There could be goalkeeper. How Enzo Maresca deals with these individuals, that is very important. I remember in Sarri's season, he came in and he didn't believe in Gary Cahill. He didn't believe in Danny Drinkwater. And you got to make sure that you show that you are the boss. You are the boss. And as I said, the owners board, they all need to buy in, and then they all need to back Enzo Maresca. I will be very shocked at any point next season if something happens and there is rumors flying around that the board of directors, they're a little bit shocked at what Maresca has done here with a certain player. I'll be very, very shocked, because all of these things need to be talked out in the interview. They should have worked it all out. And of course, Enzo Maresca, how quickly can he get the players buy-in? These players, they're probably a bit shattered from what has happened with Maurizio Pochettino. One thing we can definitely say, they're connected with Maurizio Pochettino. They definitely felt like a strong friendship with him. Now, I'm not saying Enzo Maresca needs to create a friendship, but he does need to gain their trust, and he does need to give his trust to them as well. It's a two-way street. So Enzo Maresca, how quickly can he show the blueprint and make these players believe in what he's going to implement next season? This is very crucial. Very, very crucial. One player obviously, Enzo Fernandez is one player that I'm pretty certain so many people are going to have to write up your apology letter. All the nonsense that we saw last season when he was playing under Pochettino. And people, misjudging Enzo Fernandez. You're all going to say sorry because Enzo Fernandez is going to look good. And one other player that I hope he stays injury-free is Nkunku. Nkunku, for me, I'm putting it down right now. He will be, if he's injury-free, Chelsea player of the season next season. Because this level of football from Enzo Fernandez, Enzo Maresca, keep saying Enzo Fernandez, Enzo Maresca, it will 100% benefit Nkunku because Nkunku loves to give and go. Nkunku loves to pass and take up a new position. And that is what Enzo Maresca's football is going to be a lot about. Enzo Maresca's knowledge of the Chelsea squad was described as encyclopedic. So he's a serious guy. Maresca is a serious operator. He lives and breathes football and looks like he has absolutely studied this Chelsea team. Chelsea have been, and I'm hoping because you've studied, I don't want to see any misprofiling. I want to see players, playing in the right roles, not necessarily in the right positions. I think the roles are very, very important. Chelsea have been won over by Maresca's detailed plans for Enzo Fernandez. Maresca was understood to present multiple setup shifts that he believes would get the best out of Enzo Fernandez. And look, a lot of people might say, look, this is not some sort of Enzo Fernandez team. Look, he cost a lot of money. Caicedo cost a lot of money. The team needs to be focused. The team needs to ensure that these players, high calibrated players that cost us a lot of money, they are the main focus of the team. 100%. 100%. And I'm pretty certain this time around in the interview, they would have talked about players that are non-negotiable. They must start. They must play. They must get the best out of these players. Now, of course, things may happen throughout the season where the forms could dip. The form may be, fluctuating. And that's for the manager to, make sure that they can somehow get the player back. But if you absolutely abolish a player that is 100% in the plans of the owners and the board, yeah, you're going to get yourself into trouble again. I hope that this time around that it is a true collaboration. That if there is a situation where Enzo Maresca feels a certain player is probably not fitting in completely in the way he wants to play, I hope that there is collaboration between him and the owners and the board of directors that he can report to them that this player is not completely fitting in. Let's just say, for argument's sake, Nicholas Jackson. He goes up to the board and says, look, this guy is a bit of a mismatch. And I hope that there is a bit of a give and take and that it's not just straight away that this manager needs to go, the player stays. I don't think we can be in that scenario anymore. We have to be treating these situations very, very carefully. So look, ladies and gentlemen, let me know your thoughts about Enzo Maresca. Here we go. We're waiting for the official news. Let me see if there is anything official as yet. Just want to have a quick look at the final. No, that's it. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, let me know your thoughts. Comment below. Smash the like button if you're here for the first time. Subscribe. And let's enjoy the Enzo Maresca era. Until next time, everyone. Take care. See ya.